You're not
Yes.
seeing eye to eye in business, but he's still your brother.
No. Yeah, I mean,
it was personal.
it was personal.
Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of the Conversation Capital. Ubonga, Wata, here you go.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am awesome, thank you. How are you feeling?
I'm okay.
I know it's been a hectic week for you.
Yes.
Ne?
Yeah.
But Ushab,
Yeah, no,
you're
get
hanging
right.
tight. Give, are you mic'd up? Are you here?
Unfortunately, it's
You're
not.
not mic'd up, but you're here with us. Is everything good? Are we sounding good? Today we have a friend of the show. I keep saying
And a
friend.
first of many.
First of many.
2 people
Yeah.
at
Oh
once.
yes.
That's
and
a
the
first
cameras
for
are
us.
on them yet. Wait, get the introduction. Could you slow down? Okay. So we've got a friend of the show, and the friend of the show said, "No ways, I need to bring in my brother for this discussion."
Mm-hmm.
And so for the first time, we've got 2 people in view, which is a
Yes.
first of many.
Yes.
We've got the McKelly brothers. Hello.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Oh, good.
Awesome, thank you. So
We
it's
seem shy, but we're not shy.
yeah, and then now it's like they were talking the whole
Just
time.
charmed.
Now the camera goes on, and I'm like, yo.
No,
So it's Justice and Fatwani or Rendani
innocent.
and Innocent.
Yes.
You guys
Randani,
go.
Fatwani, Justice, Innocent.
Innocent, the twins that are making waves, doing the absolute
We're
most.
trying.
You know, just now when we were chatting off, you refer to yourselves as the film brothers, and I would have always referred to you as the art brothers. So before we move, is it art or film or both, darling?
If it's art,
It's
we
film.
vibe with it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So film is
anything.
art.
Yes.
Photography is art. Painting is art. So it's
Just that film is a medium that is able to bring all the disciplines into one.
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. That's lovely. Hey, where is specialist?
I mean, film has music. It has
Yeah,
lighting. It has composition.
absolutely, yes.
Visuals. Painting has lighting and composition.
You
know,
Yes,
and-
yes.
Yeah, visual, narrative, all those things. Storytelling, painting has storytelling. So has music.
Yes.
So has sculpture. There's, you
From-
know.
Yeah. There's an
all
array
those things. Yeah.
From the
Film
last time
is able to bring
everything together.
Yeah.
From the last time I saw you, you were doing great things you've always been doing, but like nowadays, giddy collaboration, little culture.
Mamela. Anything the Mukeli brothers, when Justice was here, that was the first time my guy friends were like gushing over our podcast.
Yeah.
So now that it's both of them, my guy friends are gonna go crazy.
I'm always saying, ladies, he's taken. Like, that's like every time an episode, I'm like, they're taken.
Also, the last time I was here, I never wore a ring, so I wear a ring.
Thank
now. So
you.
it's
Thank
more-
you. Please
it's
don't
more-
DM me, guys.
Yeah.
You can see the ring is there. Please don't DM me. So one of the things we wanted to chat about, and when I thought, talking business and family, I said it has to be the 2 of you, because I see you guys doing it and killing it. And I'm like, how are they managing,
Yeah.
How are they managing not to step on each other's toes, Because we know stories where whether you're twins, brothers, inheritance. Families get split over money.
Yeah.
So when the topic came up, I was like, no. There's one group of people that I know are doing this very well, and it's the McKelly brothers. And so maybe if we can just step into that, we've already talked about you guys doing art, and just start us at the base of you guys are now leaving high school. I know you left high school first, Fatwani.
Yeah.
And then Justice also left high school after that. If you guys could start us there, at which point do you guys start getting jobs together and gigs together? Was there a little bit of competition ever in high school, primary,
You
Yeah.
want to start?
Yeah. I think firstly we have the grace of time where we've have a lot of experience in all of this. So it kind of started where we met our mentor, and Justice was working at a shoe shop. I refused to work at any other place except anything that has to do with graphic design, art, or whatever. Then Justice then moved to Chelsea, I think, as a call center agent.
Virgin Active.
Yes, Virgin Active, yeah, as a call center agent, yeah. And I stuck with my little arrogance or ego, and luckily I got the internship at an agency. But there was never any kind of competition, but inspiration for each other. So when I see Justice draw, because we've always liked drawing as kids, I would come back home and see what he did, and I'll see that he's improved way much better than me. And I'm out there doing backflips in the streets, he's sitting and drawing. So I'd be like, ngiyasala manje, let me do this. So it's always been inspiring each other, not competing.
You know, I would tell a story even before that.
Oh yeah.
Because I think being business partners started when we were young.
Yeah.
We started out, my mom at home, we used to sell amasonja. You know that?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know.
we...
Mupani worms.
Mupani worms.
Oh,
We
yes,
used to
yes.
pre-pack mupani worms and sell them. And my mom is very multifaceted, like Patwane and I. And she used to say, in all the things we did with her and for her, we do masonja and
Bake with
we'd
her.
bake with her, we'd sell cakes at home, and she'd transport kids also, including that one at the back.
And the brother.
And
Hey,
her brother.
Kiko.
Then anyway, so when we used to do that, my mom, we would say, when Patwane and I do it, when we help her, it would be successful. If we were making
wow.
cakes with her, they would sell out. Or if we go out and
Wow.
sell mupani worms, they would sell out. Then, I mean, we did that for a period of time. Then as we grew older, maybe 12, we started CDs. And that was our first official business.
Yeah.
Then...
Good money.
Official, the term official.
Yeah, I mean...
Used with caution.
yeah, so with CDs, Patwane and I, and walk almost the whole of Soweto selling mixtapes, hip hop, R&B, and all those things. And we had one, money pot or pig, what
Piggy
do they
bank.
call it?
Piggy bank.
Piggy bank. We
I
had one.
was the money guy. I
Yeah.
held all the money.
Yeah, Patwane was the
Other
money
day.
guy, but I am now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'd throw all our money into one thing, and we had that little business that turned into fixing and people's computers, installing softwares and selling computers. That was our business. Then we resold things, buying and selling things, Walkmans, iPods, whatever it is that can be sold, we used to do that. So from as long as we're conscious, Patwane and I have been business partners in all the things
I
we
could be
did.
confusing you guys, but is it not you guys that used to bug people's computers and
Yes.
you'd know they'd come back after a week?
For sure.
It was a business strategy. So you'd bring your computer to get it fixed and we'll bug it. In 30 days or 40 days, you'll come back.
Win32.
Yeah, there was a virus called Win32. So the computer will work amazing for the first 2 weeks and then it will start slowing down after. Then you're
By
going to come back. And when you're back, we're like, come on, Joe. Stop surfing. Stop watching adult stuff. And then
Give the adult
we
side.
just, format and then give it back. You get $500.
So funny.
Unethical, but funny.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
we
we
were
stopped
kids. We were very young, but the blessing of time and being ambitious and curious and being teachable, which is most important, afforded us an opportunity that changed our lives, where we met our mentor, who was just a guy coming to buy an iPod from us, and he was buying it for his wife then. For their anniversary. Then when he came to our house, he saw all the things we were doing, because we also had a t-shirt business. And the t-shirt business, we'd make these graphics and print them onto the t-shirt, blah, blah. So when he came, he saw all that stuff, which was design. And we didn't know that was design, the principle that works in advertising. And he was a creative director in advertising. And he thought,
wow.
what do you guys study? And we're like, no, we don't study. Then he said, do you know graphics design? Because that's what you guys are doing. Anyway, fast forward, he became our mentor, who's our brother now, and is the person that changed our life to what it is now. And we're still close, But that encounter with him, should we have been arrogant and not teachable, we wouldn't have seen that opportunity. So, and we later got into business with him, which there are learnings in that too.
Yes.
But I mean, that's part of the
Yeah.
story I'd add to.
Okay. So then now you're in advertising, you're still call center agent. How do you pull him in?
So it was Neo, who is our mentor. He then fought, but at the time, what we were doing, we had one car. And we lived in Soweto. So we'd wake up we'd leave the house at 7 a.m. and get to Draft FCB, which is in St. Catherine Street, stay there, work till 5 o'clock. And then Justice's shift was like a night shift. He starts work at 6. So we leave FCB, we go to his work. I wasn't allowed inside his office. So I'd sit outside, wait for him till 12 o'clock and drive back home. And we did that for
6 months.
6 months. And then one day he had a tooth infection and he never went back there. He just came to FCB and hang out with us. And then the boss at the time was like, no, I want to hire this guy as well, which was, I was like, okay, my job is done. You guys, I can take it from here. Everything I wanted. And yeah, we really worked hard to prove ourselves with the fear of not having any qualification. And that kind of accelerated us to be kind of better in the agency, because when you're sitting there and other kids went to Vega and AAA, they have qualifications, you don't. You wanna just prove that they don't even ask you for that qualification, and that really did help us a lot to.
I never get used to hearing the story. I've heard it so many times, but every time I'm like, wow, you guys did the absolute most.
Yeah, and then so we got into advertising, picked up photography.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, what happened with photography at the time, I think it was 2011, 2012. We picked up photography and we saw a huge gap because working in advertising, you work on campaigns, and when you work on campaigns, to sell your idea to clients, you need to find references that are close to what you want. And there weren't enough photographs of black people that are aspirational. The photos that you see are photos of starving kids and this and that. And we thought, if we can make photographs that feel aspirational for our presentation for clients will buy the work better. Then we started shooting our own stuff. So, for example, one of our clients, I remember, that I worked on was Vodacom. We worked on Vodacom and we had these ideas, and we'd go photograph the ideas ourselves and using ourselves as models so that the client can buy and see that actually we can present black people this way. We don't have to go look for stock photography of American people, because Americans look different to South Africans. Then whilst we were doing that, we also realized that hang on the internet, there aren't enough photos of black people that are stylish from here, and at that time, fashion was getting attention, and there was PT Omo and all those things. And when you look there, it's these Italian people, like proud of their heritage, dressed up and whatever. And we grew up seeing our dad, our uncles, and guys in our neighborhood like super dressed up, but authentically South African in style. Then we wanted to show that to the world, that, this is the South African style, and here it is to the world. So we did that, and we called that idea I See a Different You, which was personifying where we are from and saying ourselves, we see you different to how the world sees you. Then, we started telling those stories. Then fast forward, we formalized it into a business. Then we got a lot of international opportunities and got
local,
to work with lots of international brands and local brands. And that became our first, maybe more formalized
a proper
commercial
business for years.
For years,
And then now tell it again as well. And now you're saying I'm painting 5 strokes more, I'm doing 3 more invoices. Now you start really adding the numbers. I'm doing more than you are, but you must remember I do this and this. What happens?
I think in that business, it was all new to us. First, with the I See a Different You, and we formalized, we learned a lot. And we learned that being a young black business is tough. Tax is harsh on everyone. Quitting your job to earn from your business is tough. And we were working in collaboration as like all the money goes into the business and the business pays us. which was great at the time. I mean, I was able to buy a house through that business, and we learned a lot. Then COVID hit, that business was very challenged, and then Justice at the time, sorry, because if you tell the story, it's gonna be too long. So Justice had branched out to be solo, to do his film stuff and photography, which was quite amazing for me at the time to look at him while I was running a whole business with my friends, my brothers and my friends. And then lockdown came, and it kind of gave me an opportunity to also break away and stand on my own without saying, oh, you left us or anything, you know. Everyone had to go now our separate ways in a simple, amicable way. And then we had a good 2 years run where he's doing his stuff, I'm doing my stuff. But I started doing art, and I saw the opportunity and just how it made me feel. You know, I love money.
Yeah, I
And,
can see you salivating. The reason I laughed when it's like, I saw an opportunity is because I saw him salivating.
You know, so, and I'm just being honest, man. And I hope, yeah.
If you follow Fatwani on Instagram, you know he loves money.
And I hope it's not distasteful. But I was like, yo, okay. This is like a lot of cash. Like how that happened through lockdown, starting to earn the way I started earning, like from selling maybe a painting this more for whatever amount. And I realized that I was kind of making maybe triple or four times what I was earning through my business. And I was like, Justice, bro, come through here, bro. There's bread here. We can pay off our houses here quickly. And he was like, nah, art, whatever. I don't like this thing. I love to do it, but it's tough. I was like, Joe, just come hang out with me in the studio. Let's play. I know you love art because I know I love art because of him. And he started painting, and he then just ran with it. You know, there was no more motivating anyone. Next thing, we got one studio, and I was also kind of hurt from leaving my business through COVID, and I kind of branded myself as I'm an artist. And then Justice called me to come with him to Morocco to assist him because he knows I love traveling, you know. And there,
This is recent.
Yeah.
and when we're on the flight there, we're just chatting, you know, and I realized that I still love photography, but I have a resentment for it, you know. And we started speaking just honestly about it, similar with art, where I told him you can get cash, bro, and all of that, you know. And he opened up, and he's like, Vana, there's this way of doing it. We don't need to run a whole business and operation. We can just be represented.
Yeah.
And you can, you know.
I mean,
And, yeah.
if we were to speak about business in that way, I'll go back a little bit. When we're doing I See a Different You as a collective
Yeah.
together, it was obviously very successful, and we did well. And as a collective, I didn't feel our vision of how we fetch the money was the same.
Yeah.
Right? Then I had my own view of this is how we can fetch this money and stay relevant and be top of game. But the four of us were not aligned. And I had my own life pressure. I wanted to start a family. I wanted a big house. I wanted this. And I felt like the people that we had inspired to get into the game were moving ahead of us. Then, you know, in a way, I asked to step out of the business. And
Let's go there.
yeah.
Was the animosity?
Of course, there was
Yeah.
animosity.
It was challenging.
It was tough. It was tough for a long time. It challenged our relationship for maybe 5 years.
5
Was it 5
years?
years?
Yeah.
Maybe
5, yeah.
Five.
Sure.
around
This thing,
there.
yeah, was like every day go podcast in Elisigo.
Nearly
Really?
there, but it wasn't.
We'll
Every
get
day
to
was
that.
a podcast.
No, you know, I'll say, I mean, we spoke about it,
Yeah.
the two of us. When it was tough, I was able to be with him. You know, for me, my love for him is involuntary. I know even for him too. But I think
Just to say,
Explain it.
But
Yeah.
in that time,
No, for sure.
in that time, I had more courage to make time for him, even when we're not seeing eye to eye. I made sure that I'm in his presence.
Justice would come to my house and just hang out, and I'm like, bruh, I want to walk out. I want to walk around naked. What are you doing here? But anyways, I think the great thing about that is I'm able to operate on my own, and I can sit there, and not that I don't need him. I can
Different love languages.
yeah, I can be by myself for longer without having him around me. And him coming to my house all the time, or initiating that we do stuff, help that we don't lose our connection too far. We are not too far apart
As brothers.
And there was that awkwardness, or not awkwardness, there was a just bad blood that we can't really explain. We knew that we're not seeing eye to eye, but Justice would make an effort to say, no, where are you? Let's go, let's do this, let's do that. And I'll do it, and I love that. And
Yeah,
I wouldn't initiate much. I'll go travel
And
for 6 months, and I'm okay. When I come back, he'll say, hey, Joe, where are you? Let's do this, let's do that, let's go on holiday. But I wouldn't do much, which is, I think, part of how we are designed, and it helped. Justice really helped there, for
Yeah, I mean, in the 5 years, we still took the December holiday together.
Yes.
Even though we are not seeing eye to eye, but in
It's
yes,
not seeing eye to eye in business, but he's still your brother.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
it was personal.
it was personal.
Justice, and I used to tell him it's not personal, Justice, it's business, and he's very sensitive. And then I let him heal and be, But
so let's get to the crux of this. This tough time, 5 years, arose because of what you wanting to leave.
So obviously there are in conflict, everyone experiences the conflict differently.
Yes.
And I'll speak to my experience of that conflict, which was I felt that the opportunities of how we can fetch the money were not being maximized the way, and now people that we helped get into the game were doing better. But in maybe my efforts to try communicate that, it wasn't clear, so I felt that no, I can't wait longer. I need to go fetch these opportunities myself.
Okay.
And for me, if I speak of that time when I left, all I thought of was, I need to be doing this with my brother. I know my brother loves money, and I was seeing different kind of money, and in that time I was able to do so much that I know if I was with him, it would be so much
Even
more.
better.
And I enjoy seeing him, do well. Because, I've got my own taste. We're both very fancy people, but I've got my own taste of doing my things, and he has his own, and I enjoy seeing him in his element of fancy, and I missed that. But in that time, it was so sensitive that even saying to him, you must think of coming this side. He couldn't hear me say that, because maybe he feels like I'm letting go of the collective, the bigger dream, or there's more opportunity. So that's how I experienced it. Yeah.
And with you, what are you thinking when he says, hey, now I'm out? What's
I
your
was
heart?
heartbroken, because it was us against the world, or rather us doing this thing that we dreamt of. And in my vision of life, I'm winning with him. My when we're running this race, he's next to me, and we cross this path together, and we did it. And now he's gone. And I was so I think when you are younger, you think your only way to success is what you have now. And things can change for all of us here. We might be artists today, and tomorrow we are scientists who are designing rubbers for shoes, and we are billionaires just for that. So at that time, I had just blocked myself to, this is the thing, and that's it. You know, this is where our success is gonna be. And seeing him do well made me happy. I remember he went to New York and he was shopping in Saint Laurent. I was always very happy to see Justice like doing well and doing the things that we both wished we could do. And actually, I didn't feel like I wasn't doing well. I've always felt like we are both doing well. There's no one that's less than the other. And he made financial decisions, good financial decisions early, you know, so he bought his house early and all that stuff. And it got lockdown came, and I realized that, okay, what can I learn from what Justice is doing? What has he been doing that I'm not doing right? And then I just checklist, okay, he's down on the parties. You know, like, it's simple because
You know, I laugh because Justice is down on the parties like this guy.
Yeah,
He makes me laugh so much.
so if you want to know what's happening today anyway, I'm the guy who would know. And I was like, okay, I need to eliminate that. And I read a book called Atomic Habits that reminded me of who I am and how we both are. And I then started gravitating back to myself. And we were shooting as well. He was doing film stuff, and I really admired everything that Justice was doing. And I didn't separate myself from him. I just realized that I can also enhance myself like he did. I can simplify my life, be home early, spend more time on the things that make me happy, not out in the streets. And life changed in like 2 years. But
By being out less.
yeah.
La utlwa hore clubbing and grooving is.
Yeah, and I'm not saying people
Are you
shouldn't
guys
do
getting
it.
the lesson or what?
I don't need the lesson.
No. I think everyone must do that. Everyone must. Everyone has their crutch.
But it's that thing
know?
you speak about, isolation.
Yeah.
Not isolation.
No.
literally,
I
but-
talk about it all the time. In order to achieve certain things, you need a time out from people, whether it's weight loss.
You
or
know,
it's-
you know what I would say? It's fasting.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
fasting or Lent
Yes.
I think for me, we give up what we want
when you want power.
Because the edge of being out there in the streets will always be there. But if you wanna be good at what if you wanna be good at what you do, you must put in more time than that stuff there in the streets.
Yeah, you know, our mentor Neo would always say, you know, you can't compete with a sober guy drunk.
Never.
You can never compete with a sober person drunk. You know, and not that
Drunk can be metaphorical.
Yeah,
and
not
drunk,
literally, yeah.
it's all those small things that. So I went to this amazing camp for men that help you see your shadows. So shadows are the things that hold you back without you seeing. That's what I would say drunk is. Like, for some people, it's lifestyle, like being out. You know, for some people, it's girls. For some people, it's drinking. For
For most
some
men,
people,
ke basadi.
you know, yeah, I mean, both vice versa.
That came from such a
mean-
deep place.
Yeah, I know, but I would also say for women, it's men. You know, there's all that stuff that takes you away from your purpose.
Sure.
You know, and if Patwani says I made smarter decisions earlier. I remember in 2012 or 2013 when I met my girlfriend, who's my wife now. I was also deep in the girl game. You know, I was deep in Bram. I was also attempting to drink. Luckily for me, alcohol I don't enjoy, but I tried because I wanted to fit in, right? So I knew on a Friday night I was looking forward to Great Day, you know, Kitchener, or whatever it is the plan was, and the whole weekend. But when I met my wife, she had an alternative point of view of things. So already just plugging into her life and seeing how she, what the things excites her for Friday nights also gave me the confidence that this thing that's making me spend so much when I don't have much, I can eliminate it with going to
Netflix.
the park. You know, I can eliminating it by going to look for secondhand furniture or whatever small activities that I found myself introduced to by my wife. You know, and I've got the strongest willpower. So when I decided that I'm walking away from this weekend vibe and where's the next party, like everyone, like every young person, it felt like, damn it, what's life gonna be like? But that first month, I realized that, man, there's nothing I'm missing out on here. You know, and I didn't stop. I mean, I've never been a drinker, but I would have a beer. Then I realized that why am I having a beer? For me, it wasn't a thing that I enjoy, so I stopped it. So it became clearer just in my vision who I am when I stepped away from the things I thought I needed. And for me, my thing was I liked girls, parties, and Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. I was not available. I was just doing that, you know. And once I stepped away from those things, I saw exactly what I'm more interested in, you know. So, yeah.
And then you take a leaf from that page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You
who's
know,
are something, this guy?
I think the best part of being twins is we learn from each other.
Yeah.
You know, and the more present you are, you can see what to take from a person, because you can be I'm inspired by my brother. I'm also mentored by him. Without him having to do anything, I just look and say, what would Justice do here in a thing like this?
WWJD.
Yeah. And that is a blessing, because when you are present, then you know that these are your shortcomings, and you can take these power points or power point of views from your peers and go, oh, my friend Zwedipe does this. Let me take this and apply it to me.
Yes.
With
I
all
love
the things
this.
that I am,
I love
it
what you're
enhances
saying.
me to be better.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, so
Adopting.
when I looked at Justice, I look at Justice and Zwedipe, who's one of our best friends as well, and Neo is much older. He did a lot of work on us, so there's a lot to learn from him. But now, because we are in kind of the same age, we are dealing with the same kind of things, I just look on my side and say, look, what is Zwedipe doing? Oh, okay, cool. This is where I should be doing. You know, maybe we found ourselves getting big bonuses. I can easily ball out and buy like the latest car or whatever. But my peers here next to me are always saying, hey guys, let's pay off our houses. Let's minimize the debit orders. And then immediately when that big check comes, I know what I'm hearing from my next
Your mentors.
my mentors. And this is where
Jim Ron says you are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with.
yeah.
You know, the I know we're speaking of business, and I think it's so important.
We've off-ramped, but I
Yeah,
like it.
Yeah.
I love
all
it.
good, all good. I love it too. There's something that's become like a huge highlight or an important thing that I identified in my recent time, like maybe this year, the importance of mentorship.
Yes.
And, you know, that thing, I think a lot of people miss the opportunity of mentorship because the idea of mentorship is it should be formal.
Yes.
You know, Patwani spoke about me being his mentor, but not directly. He just looks at
Yes.
what would Justice do here?
Yes.
What would Zwedipe do? I remember, you know, yes, we do have a formal mentor. We had a formal mentor since we were maybe 18 with
Young.
Neo.
Yeah.
Oh, younger. Neo's been our mentor young. You know, lucky.
I'm sorry to interject, but this has been in my head for the entire time.
Yeah.
Their relationship with Neo.
Yeah.
It's because of where they had put themselves. They were guys who were selling stuff, who were active,
Yeah.
Yes.
and they were identified because of what they were doing.
Yes.
And we
You
were
know?
able to identify him because we had no ego.
Yes.
Our peers or friends
were
in that
there.
time, when Neo came, and I would say when Jesus came, we were all there. But because everyone's point of view is different, not everyone was able to see that this guy is the one that's gonna save us.
Yeah. I know those
Literally,
ways.
I won't lie. Well, the script says no cap, no cap. We thought that guy's our intersection with him, without Neo's coming into our life, I maybe life would have been this, but
In a different
in
way.
a different way. But that guy
Yeah.
played the hugest role in my life. You know, I remember him, and this is the power of mentorship. Before him, Patwan and I used to say, "Ngeke ngisebenze umlungu, I'll never work for a white person, I don't need a formal job, blah, blah." And I remember him asking, and I said a comment like that. And in his way, he's harsh in his demeanor. He laughed at my brother and I, and he said, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You'll never work for a white person. Show me the person that's rich that followed that statement." Then we fetched our Kasi idols. Yeah, there's this guy, I can't name them. There's this guy who drives a TDI. There's this guy
But
who
what
does
do they
this.
do?
Then he said, "Okay, where does he live?" Then I show him. And it's like, bruh, so your level of wealth is this, a back room and a polo. That's such a low standard.
Oh.
Shame. You know?
Abdineo, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes,
Wow, what a
sis.
guy.
Yes, sis.
But he
He's
was
a
patient with
giant,
us
that
as
guy.
well.
Yeah, he was patient. And I just remember that interaction. I think a month later, I got a job. I could make money. I was earning maybe $5,000 at that job. I could make more in the street. But because of mentorship and being humble, I was willing to listen. And he told us, you know, if you go into a formal job, these are the things you learn. You learn money management. You learn all those things, discipline.
Discipline, yeah.
You know, it's like
Yes, showing
homework.
up.
You know,
Presentation,
we
how
were not
to
great
speak
at
to
school,
people.
but the principle of homework is not punishment. You know, with 9 to 5, 9 to 5 has way more homework than school. You know, when you're at home, your partner will say, "Hey, you are not present." Why? Because you are doing your homework for tomorrow. You know, so those things, when he gave us those tools, I was blown away. I bought it, but not entirely. And I thought to myself, geez, this guy drives a Mini Cooper. He has a Subaru. He has a farm in Walkerville. He has a house in Northcliffe. I'm going to listen to this guy.
Yeah.
You know, then I listened to him and I got that job. When I was doing that job, he said, "It's not time to settle. When you have a job, it's easy to find another job. Get another job." Then I worked for 6 months in a shoe shop. I got another job. You know, then 6 months, I got a job from him. You know, and that changed my life. But mind you, when all that was happening, the importance of mentorship, we had close friends around us that those opportunities were available to them.
Yes.
But because they were not ready
Sure.
to see or to receive those opportunities, they couldn't see it as an opportunity. Because amongst our peers, you know, we can make our own money. Who's gonna make you do a logo for 3.5? You know,
They're ripping you off. You guys are talented. You can start your own business. How am I going to start my own business? Where do I know?
I don't even know how the
I don't know how
industry
to
works.
invoice.
Let me learn.
I didn't even know the industry before now. So how am I going to start a business of an industry? I don't know. So power of mentorship will help you skip stages. You know, sometimes when I go to now, it may feel like we're equals. There's no way. Like he says something, just one thing, and yes, as it rings in my head the whole night that I didn't see it this way.
I'll
You
make
know?
an example of a radical one. I think we were talking about scary movies and goats and whatever. I live in a standalone house alone and stuff.
Yeah.
Justice is like, "Yo, Mpana, I'm scared of goats. What if
Yeah.
next thing?" No, I was like, "How? Why are you scared of ghosts? If there were ghosts, they would be showing white people who took the land, the racism guys and the apartheid, they would be feeling it. Because ghosts, from our ancestors and
Yeah.
whoever that was being slept
Yeah.
by these racists,
Yeah.
they would be feeling it.
They would be
So
getting
they
revenge.
don't
They live
exist,
so
bro.
nicely.
Yeah.
They
Because
live
clearly they
so
don't.
nicely.
And to me, I
And
was like, yo.
he has simple logic and bars like that.
yeah.
And that's been our life from 16.
Yeah.
Like he always has like a smarter, overly simplified solution to your nonsense.
To your drama.
Sure.
Like I mean, even the
And I love you
simplest.
saying a lack of ego. Please continue.
Yeah.
A lack of
Yeah.
ego allows you to see it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, amongst our peers, they used to think that, because I mean, we had different opportunities. We are just Kasi guys. Our peers are cheese boys, you know. So they are wired more to start businesses and be big dreamers. I mean, I wasn't a big dreamer. All I wanted was X, Y, and Z, and I was working my way there. So when Neo arrived, my big dreamer friends were like, no, man, imagine if a logo is 3.5. If you make 5 logos or 6 logos a month, that's an easy target. You earn way more than you are earning at FCP. But because I had no ego, I was able to understand that, yeah, in a perfect ideal world, that would be lovely. But I don't know this industry. I don't know these things. I don't even know who to call to offer that service to.
FCB sells a logo for 200 million or whatever more. You did a logo for some sugar or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're not growing yourself.
Yes.
So mentors will show you a bigger picture
Yes.
to go, yeah, it's okay. But this is the level you can
Can
get to. You know, and that's what
say
he
that
did for us.
I'll give you another example. Paton and I work in commercial photography. Or we can say we work in photography. The way we present like we are cool kids, right? But we are old. So the cool kids want to get into photography, and they get into photography already unpacked how this thing works without mentorship, right? And the immediate things they can do is they're gonna shoot headshots for pretty girls, slay queens, for an hour rate, whatever it is, and X, Y, and Z, and we'll do this on ourselves. They won't want to have agents. They won't want anything formal because, yeah, I've figured this thing out. And for me, ego comes in where you are in the same channel or same industry. You are making 5,000 rands a day or an hour, or let's say you are making 50 grand an hour, and there's another guy in the same industry making 500,000 a day. You know, but if you were humble enough to start low and be mentored and learn, you'd be able to make 500K a day over 50K a day. Do you know? But because people don't want to be mentored.
figured it out.
They get in with, I know how this thing works. Yeah, we don't have to, you know. And you will never know what your peers in the same industry you're in are making. Like, you'd ask yourself, how is Patwani driving a Porsche and this and this and this and this? I mean, we are working the same hours.
Awayibona. Awayibona.
So,
I'd
but
have a
anyway,
news.
anyway. So
I have a Porsche yesterday.
it's just those things that mentorship gets in there, you know, and mentorship goes so further than education, because mentorship is on the ground education, like it's hands-on experience. Tailored for you. It maximizes you, you know. And because we've got the mentality of, I know how it works, you miss opportunities to grow.
You know, even in the workplace, there's a formula, I've forgotten the name, in learning and development. 70% on the job, 10% learning, 20% other people.
Yeah.
So 70% is on the job.
Yes.
20, only 10% is book.
Yes.
So what is it
yes,
leading to?
yes, yes. You learn that as soon as you step out of varsity. Right, this qualification, I give this one almost.
Yeah.
I realized that the most successful the most successful people don't know much. They are good at dealing with people. So you don't need to be like the best
Or the smartest person.
whatever braider. But if you have the skills to get people to come to your place
And keep coming back.
you hire the guys who are good at braiding, and you are networking with people. So your personality is your
fetching the
value.
business, yeah.
Is fetching in the business. So we find ourselves shooting and getting good commercial stuff to do based on how we engage with people.
Absolutely.
You know, and even if I've got 10 or 15 years experience in photography and directing, you won't even feel it when I'm in the room, because you'll feel that I'm experienced, but my ego is not in the table.
Yeah. Also,
It's engaging in a human level.
the truth in all that we do, there's always the youngest better guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's always there's always someone who's better, but there's no one who's gonna be better than you by being you. You know, so, and you know, the biggest thing I've learned, and that's testament to my whole life, is the power of humility and genuine humility. Genuine humility. Like, people think because I'm now working at this level, I need to show up this way. Because now I've got a Porsche, I need to show up with this posture and my key ring, and that's my whole persona. You know, when
I remember you even telling me, sorry to interject, like, I just really like the story where you go back home to Soweto and people want to speak to you in English and you're like, oh, okay.
How I feel.
All of a sudden accent is Zulu.
and it's those things. Like, humility is the most powerful tool in all the things you acquire in your experience.
Yeah.
And Chem, guys, they're not fronting. Remember, we've had a conversation about this. Justice will enter the room and be
Absolutely.
as calm as other guests.
Absolutely.
More than some of our guests.
Absolutely. Yeah. we have some guests that we're like, okay. And then Justice walks in and he's like, oh, let me take a picture of you guys. Or, you know, whatever. Yeah, no, absolutely. So it is testament to, like, really the character.
Humility, I won't lie. Yes, I do have talent. Yes, I've got experience. Yes, I've worked and we've had business and opportunities. But humility was the biggest game changer. And I think humility is what's put all opportunities in front of us. Like, even now was through humility. We didn't,
Yes.
because I also, you know, I love mentoring people. I've got time, but I don't have time for someone that I encounter and they already know too much. Not that I don't want to belittle anyone, no. But if you are coming with the energy of, I already know, I also won't be able to spot that, man, this guy has something. I can help them, you know? And there's also that crowd of fake humble, you know, where they are just coming closer to hope to get some of your blessings. You know, it's easy to spot those things, but humility is, even in business, like, return business is caused by humility. We don't care how good you are, you know, because there's in our generation, there's the better person who's gonna be friendly. You know, imagine you are amazing but cocky. Then they work with Patwan. Patwan is laughing.
Yeah.
Patwan is laughing all
nice.
the way.
Good morning.
Yes, they don't even see that this guy is a big deal somewhere, because he doesn't lead with that. We are here now. We are all people. We are smiling. We are doing what we are here to do.
To try to bring it back to the conversation I called
Yeah.
before.
So
we are very far.
The power of mentorship. That's this conversation.
That's honestly.
That's this
No,
But to bring it back now, when you guys start working and doing business again together,
Yeah.
what happens? What's the conversation you have?
No, so I mean, we had a long time without being in business together, and so much unsaid. And there's a danger in everything that's unsaid, because if I'm sitting in my corner, I'm assuming that why Patwani would think of me this way, and Patwani is in his corner thinking that Mara Rendan, you know. Anyway, so that happened for a long time. Then obviously we had a studio together, which was beautiful, and I got an opportunity work-wise to go do a campaign for Total Energies in Morocco. And whilst I was busy working with those people, they asked me, who do I want to work with as my assistant? And without even thinking, I thought, because whilst I was in the meeting, Patuan was there. And all I'm thinking is that, this guy is going to love Morocco. And I'm a homesick type of person. I don't enjoy travel as
Yeah,
much
he
as
stayed in
can.
Paris for I don't know how many
I
months.
can't do it. They can keep Paris or whatever. Anyway, so I said, yeah, I've got the best assistant, Patuan. Then they're like, who is he or whatever? Then, no, it's my twin brother. We've got the same portfolio. We'll work together. Then they got excited.
And they like, is that not double the money?
No, I
We can
mean,
only pay for one of you.
yeah, I mean, that was
wasn't-
negotiated.
I didn't care if they paid me. I just wanted to be in Morocco. But yeah, we got paid. Well,
So yeah.
yeah.
Well.
But when you
But then what they
tell it that we got paid
Well.
Anyway, so it was our first time doing international business together. And to me, I hadn't thought that, this is the moment I convince Patwani to work with me. You know, I just thought Patwani is going to come with me. What he needs to do assisting me is so minimal. And I don't even need him to do that. I just want vibes. I want to be at home
Yes,
in Morocco. Anyway, we get to Morocco. We fly off. We're in Morocco. On our flight, it's nice doing selfies. We arrive in Morocco. We meet my team. I hadn't met them in person. It's a company called Cream Paris. So we meet them. It's nice. We go for our reikis. And Patwani is working harder than me, you know. And I thought, and whilst we were there, the beauty of that was it reminded me of our time in business as kids before it was formal. Patwani is a bigger personality. He's good with people, blah, blah. So he was good with the producers and the clients and whatever. I mean, I'm not so social as him. So he was great with them and they loved him and all that stuff. And it was flowing. Then we work and all that stuff. Then once we were doing that, I felt like working with him was a superpower, obviously, because double of us, and he does well what I cannot do, and I do well what he cannot do, you know?
Yeah.
So that felt like a force. Then I thought, yes, as that first day, I thought, no, man, we need to speak to these guys to sign us together as a duo because this thing is nice, you know? Anyway, I tell him, I said, you need to think about this, but I'd like for us to be represented together because for me, it's nice working together in this way. And lucky he was also thinking about that. Then we had the conversation with them and we formalized it. And
do you guys ever address for 5 years ago?
No, of course.
Or what happened?
Of course. So we did that job. It was amazing. It was good for both of us, for our confidence, and just to see that we can be in business together again in this thing. Fast forward, we're flying back, then the conversation starts gently that, no, Patwan tells me about his experience in when I left and he resented this type of business. He wasn't interested in it anymore. And yeah, so whilst he was talking about that, I also shared with him my experience of all these things that my frustration was that working in this system in this way, I thought it would be better working together, but it wasn't the right time. But this is the right time. So, yeah.
I think for me, the biggest lesson to be able to work together now is we treat our brotherhood as a relationship. And it's very important. Like it's a marriage, because if you want a successful marriage, you must communicate. If I walk in the studio and I don't know, I don't like what Justice did or he moved my things, I must communicate so that I don't harbor things, you know. If he spoke to me in a manner that I don't like, I must tell him that, Joe, I don't like that, you know. And I realized that after the trip, we then started doing that. We realized that from our corners, we were assuming. I was assuming Justice is whatever, you know, he's doing well, he's looking at me and he's laughing. But in his in his corner he's saying, how does this guy have everything that he wants and he looks happy, he's not struggling? And I'm like, I realize that everyone's struggling. We all show up great, but we all have challenges. Everyone has challenges. And we then we opened up, I said, hey, bro, I had a sheriff coming to my house for this and that. He said, hey, Joe, I was struggling with this and that. I realized that I'm sitting there with so much, with feelings that don't exist.
Assumption, yeah.
Assumption. And now the power of what we are today is it's important to communicate. I tell him, Joe, I took this job. We got signed now as artists together in one thing, and then I got signed by another one in Barcelona. In order to make sure that he's not thinking I went and took this opportunity and not bring it in. Because we love each other. It can be very sensitive. Yes. I told him, Joe, that place, they signing me and this and that and that. I told them as well, if they're keen, this is you. But also, I must communicate in a sensitive way so that we don't find ourselves back where we were.
Yes.
Because 5 years went by quick. From assuming.
Yeah. And now we realize that it's good that we found that experience and it's important. And I wish it for many twins, because I think it is a kind of a twin thing where you need to learn to be individuals and then come in to be one, but as individuals. And this is what we are.
This is so true.
He's married. I am in a very beautiful relationship, and it's also important for our partners to get along, and they know.
Yes.
And they both know it's not pressure, and it's not expecting that they must be besties, but they also know that there's a marriage between me and this guy.
Connection. Like my wife, for many years since we've been together, she has his calendar. When we go on holiday, he has to come because. I'm needy of him. So
on their honeymoon, his honeymoon.
We learned business. In order for business to be great, you must be good friends. There's no such thing as running a business, or maybe there is, but I think a successful business for us and how we are, and success for us is not the money. It's us being able to flow the way we do.
In harmony.
In the harmony we have a great relationship. A job comes in from my side or his side, and say, hey, you doing the photography, or I'll say, I got a thing, you doing the photography, or we are going in together. It's seamless. I know his strength. Justice is extremely technical, and he loves to handle the camera stuff. I know I give him space on that. I'm great with people. I'm great with clients. I'm great. I can direct people. Yeah, and there's no ego, So when we're working together and we're shooting together, I can easily say, okay, if we're not splitting, let me make sure that everything is right here. What do you need? Okay, let's tell this guy. Let me run quickly and do this, and we flow.
Yeah, we did it.
But we're splitting and you working at the same time together.
At the back of Morocco, coming back from Morocco, I think we did 4 campaigns together, and we worked in harmony from opening up the channel of honest conversation, and leaning in each other's strengths. As he says, Batwan, I love technical stuff. He's a lot more creative in his approach and also people skills. So when we're working together, it becomes a better force when we are leaning in each other's strengths.
And funny enough, as professional as we are, I'd look at the camera and not know what to do with it. And I'll say, Justice, I don't know where the aperture here. And it's not a thing that it disqualifies you as a good photographer. But being able to say, hey, Fana, this camera is confusing me. He can handle that, and then quickly I know, okay, I've got that thing. I'm going on my side, I'm shooting that, and I say, I'm not sure what I shot. Do you want to come check it out? And he says, Fana, I don't know what you're talking about. This is amazing. Same as him. So we lean into our powers.
If I need him to direct someone, because sometimes some people you can't get through. And there's no one he can't get through. So I'll ask him to, I'm struggling here, then he'll do his thing. But the key thing is relationship, being mindful, friendship,
and having
conversation, honesty.
the same goals, and same goals are not same cars, same houses or whatever. Same goals are, we want to be good at this.
Yes.
We want to invoice on a higher level. We
do
want to
better.
compete here.
Invoice on a higher level.
Yeah. We want to be Black Coffee of photography and art. We want to be there. Or can be bigger than that. But what the main thing we share here is, we want to be like Daniel Hashem or those other guys who are big artists in the world. Want to be the best, any Libovitz, the best photographers. We want to do all that stuff. This is what we want. And while we are working towards that, we are aligned that we want to grow in our careers, want to be good, we want to, and not just work with highbrow clients, but everything that we are touching is adding to this thing that will get us to be maybe icons or just compete in a global stage, with like who's Prince Jassy is our friend and those other guys, to be in that level where you are shooting Calvin Klein's campaign, LV. That's where we are gunning to, and the money.
So the vision is aligned.
Yes,
The vision is aligned.
and we do love money, but I think the vision is more important than the money.
One more than the other.
Yeah.
Johnny makes me laugh
You
so
know,
much.
no,
I didn't know he was so funny.
No, but the vision is way more important than the money. What's good is we can secure the everyday stuff and wake up and work in our studio, which is amazing. And we can sit and brainstorm stuff, laugh, drive, think about, oh, let's do this, and dream like we're kids. And it's the most beautiful thing for us, where we took a drive to Cape Town, and it felt like it was back then when we walk after making like a bit of money, and we walk and say, hey, one day we'll buy a Polo TDI and live in the South. And now we're driving to Cape Town in a fantastic car, going to a holiday home, and we're going, Shivana, and one day we'll do this and this. And I know that those dreams are valid, and that child in us is still there. And it's important that we keep that fire, And when I'm sitting at home, I'm going, okay, maybe this. And we share a lot of inspiration on Instagram, TikTok, and we always sending, maybe we must try this, So it's work, fun, and love.
Sure. Work, fun, and love.
To add to Patwani, I think it's not smooth.
No.
It's not always smooth.
Even as you're saying it, it's just like Given is giving me a side eye, guys. We don't have enough camera space for this.
Yeah.
But even as you guys are talking, because you're speaking of this 5 years, and I'm assuming this 5 years is in the time that we're following you guys are eating lunch every day.
Of course, and
just experiencing what that duality looks like. Because to the rest of us, go hanky dory, keep on tega every day. But they like doing this thing, every day. And now just seeing that, life has duality to it. You can be going through something very strenuous, but you don't necessarily have to be like, hey,
let me tell you, we've got a code. Life is tough. Just show up sexy.
That's all the time.
There's no one who wants to work with a sad person. Imagine me, my brand is like, oh, I lost this pitch. Oh, this. Like the past 2 years were the hardest 2 years of my life. You wouldn't tell. Because I show up every day sexy, like I've got 2 million or whatever it is that would make anyone smile. But our code is, no matter what you are going through, show up sexy.
And know that we've had harder times. We lived in Soweto and sharing a small room with our elder brother. We've done that hard part. And in the challenges that we are, it's okay, man.
It's small.
It's where we come from.
Stressing
when you're in Thailand, it's okay, bro.
Stressing when you're in Thailand is nothing.
And there is stress, it's there,
I think you said something in Thailand like, my debit orders are already.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm here by this speech, and those things exist. You can't now give what do they sink into them?
They say every level has its devil.
Yeah.
In business, like, we look at people and we think they're doing super well. This guy is driving a Bentley or whatever. That person also has sleepless nights.
He's
You know,
definitely
you look at my brother and I's Instagram, right? And yes, these twins are killing it. It's driving this and this and eating here. I eat out every day, 3 times or 4 times. How, guys? I also have a thing that makes me not sleep. Once in a while, I also have a nightmare, and my wife is like, "Are you okay, love?" She knows how to deal with me in that dark space. No one has a smooth life. Life is not like this. It's like a movie. There's a
It has
story
seasons.
arc.
Yeah, it is
You know?
seasons, and we just learn to ride that wave.
No, just show up sexy.
Yeah, we're getting into winter. You prepare your outfits for winter. When it's summer, it's autumn. It's exactly what life is, and finances and business. All of that stuff is exactly
And
life.
don't have ego. If life requires you to do a change down, I'm ready, guys.
Yeah.
I've shared a 3/4 mattress with this guy
so.
for 20
know,
years. Do you know a 20-year-old in a mattress? With no base.
You can't even date. We
Ah,
didn't date for
guys.
the longest time.
Yeah.
Where am I gonna take this guy?
Yeah.
You can't date. I don't have $20 for McDonald's. Why am I
But
in a
serious,
relationship?
we started dating late
Very late,
because
yeah.
life was tough. I can't be going through it thinking about a girl. When I can't provide for myself, who am I gonna take the poor girl, guys? Then
But in that struggle, there's so many beautiful moments too.
of course, yeah.
Because it's weird how life is. When you look back, you can see that, okay, we didn't have what we have now, but we had a good time. We were doing backflips every day.
Yeah.
Didn't think of debit orders. We didn't think of
Didn't even have
deadlines.
deadline orders.
Actually, life was relatively better then.
Yeah.
Relatively.
I swear. I wake up in my house and I go,
This is the part where
Yes,
Makalora
sis.
shy.
I swear to you.
Sharing
me
a
tell you.
3/4 bed, driving a
Let me
Porsche.
tell you.
Let
me tell you.
Now
Let me
the
tell
shy ring is coming
we're
in.
fighting now. We are fighting to pay off our bonds so that there's no
Eh.
Stress.
Stress
But
for the
let
payment.
me tell you, life does get better on paper. But when I shared a mattress with this guy when we were younger in Zone 4 in my mom's back room, the stress level was not as the one now.
Yeah. No anxiety.
Yes,
No
'cause-
having to gym to fight for your life.
Do
You
you
just
think we are fetching the body just for vibes?
Yes.
We're fetching that body because I need
you
to
have
be
to
level-headed.
quiet down the noise.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that are successful way beyond our bracket say money is not happiness. In the bracket that I'm in, I can tell you it's not happiness.
Yeah.
Money does not make me happier. Here now, in this, I used to think when I was back in Zone 4 that, if I can have a TD, I've got 2 cars. I've got all the things I've dreamt of and more. They didn't make me happier.
And
What
happiness
ma-
comes from within. When we go on walks, that's where I like
Happiness
yes,
is
that's beautiful.
Personally, and I think for everyone, happiness is not tied to money.
Yeah.
Yes, money, obviously, when a debit order is bouncing, you'll be stressed. But yes, there are people or peers or people you observe that have so much money, but you can see they have no peace. I have relatively enough. Lucky I've got peace. Lucky I've got love. Lucky I've got good friendship. Lucky I've got beautiful upbringing.
Sure.
I went home to love. When I go home now, I'm going home to love. I'm going to be received with a big smile and a hug. Some people don't have that. And money will never buy you that.
Now you can drive a Ferrari and go home. It's you on the couch.
Yeah.
Oh, you just said.
No, let me tell you. I drive my dream car. I've cried in my dream car.
Akira, that's what we say. I'd rather cry in a Ferrari
Let me tell
on
you.
a bicycle.
Let me tell you.
Because to cry, you're gonna cry.
It's
relative.
It's easy to say that.
And I
But-
can say it's easy to say that for you.
Yeah,
On the
no,
other side.
I understand. It's easy to say that.
Yeah.
But when you are going through that fire, when you're going through that pain, all those things don't matter. Because your heart is not at ease. When the heart is in pain, There's no amount of money that will buy you happiness. Never.
And
can agree with
attaching
this.
our happiness to materials is the biggest cause of that pain and depression, because if you think, oh, I'm now absconding in my payments, my cars, oh damn, now I'm going back home.
I want to
So
was routine,
then then you kill yourself. So if you know that life has seasons, there's times where invoices won't be that great, and you must weather the storm for that. Prepare for winter, prepare for summer, all of that.
And
You'll
don't be careless.
Yeah.
Because when it's your season, it's easy for us to be careless. I've learned the hard way. I bite way more than I could chew because it's my season. You know? Anyway.
But anyways, we said too much. Too many topics in one.
Sure, too many topics in one. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the nuggets of wisdom. I don't believe we really asked questions.
Yo,
You know,
we
they
talk
just-
too much.
They just poured out and poured out. But I've always loved that about you guys. It's always easy to talk to you. Thank you so much. I'm quite sure people will absorb so much. Even the last
Yeah.
episode I had with Justice, I often get stopped. The dyslexia episode, so you guys are always so willing to pour out wisdom and share. And in the same way that you've been mentored, it's beautiful. You're willing to come onto these platforms and to mentor other people. And so we applaud you for that and we celebrate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was today's episode of the Conversation Capital. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For now, though, goodbye and God bless.